terminals are divine. What you possessed were nothing but privately made replicas, existing solely by the grace of the Primus. How dare you defy our cleansing of such blasphemy?
We never stopped asking the Order for permission to wear the terminals, but every single request is denied. You won't even tell us why. You've controlled the terminal supply, and the family stopped trading with us. These are all we have left. Why should we hand them over?
I can sense your fervent desire for the artifacts and the blessings from the Sentinel. But whether you are worthy of the terminals is for the Order to decide. If you willingly part with your wealth in devotion to the Order's divine cause, the door to forgiveness might still be open. But should you persist in your defiance, we'll have to escort you to the penitentiary for judgment.
The Order and the commoners. It must be the Order's arrogance is known, but such blatant actions. Is it because we're far from the heart of the city? Let's first address their troubles, and then we'll... Still recognize me? Quickly and swiftly. You will yield.
The Montellis said. Must I remind you again? Trading reserved terminals is a breach of the discipline.
We paid good money for these. If you're taking them, you owe us a refund.
Yet the very traders who took your money have seen the error of their ways and reported your dealings. They have sworn to repent for their illicit production and cease all trade with you. How sad, Miss Carlotta. Such loyalty to your family, only to be left in the dark. No one bothered to inform you, did they?
Oh, please. My ties with the family are not so fragile as to be shaken by mere words. The fact that we're having this conversation at all means that you cannot ignore my status. Wouldn't you agree? The Sentinel and the Primus have declared free trade as our undeniable right. Scarlet, you preach the doctrine, yet fail to adhere to it yourself. If I were you, I'd be on my way to the penitentiary. Willful transgression is the worst blasphemy one can imagine.
Mark my words. The day Montelli is brought to its knees by the Order and Phasalia will be the day you beg for the Sentinel's mercy. When that day comes, all shall be under the Order's control, and it will not be long in coming.
Ernesto, the bartender, said you needed to see me. You may have just offended us, but you heard it. Your family has left us in a mess. Frankly, I don't see the point in having this conversation. But since Ernesto said it's about Bennett, I'll give you a minute, for his sake. Regardless of the bigger picture, and it's not just the terminals. No more jewelry, perfumes, and all that nonsense. You saw what happened today. Not to mention, I haven't seen him on telly for nearly 2 weeks. Where were you when we were fighting against the Order and the Phasalias?
There was a slight issue of a traitor in the vault, so our hands were tied. A direct approach works best at times. Actually, what that acolyte claimed is news to me. Surrendering control and ceasing trade are not in the Montelli's vocabulary. The Montelli creed has always been family first and a pioneering spirit second.
With your grandfather, maybe. But he won't be around forever. When Capello takes the helm, the real question is whether we can get our trade back on track. Can your family still be trusted? What I need is a solid promise from someone in charge. Can you do that? One thing's for sure. I don't want to see the family who first broke the monopoly to trade with us commoners end up defending it.
I'll speak with my uncle and grandfather to see what happened with our cooperation.
You know what? This is supposed to be your family's business. Why am I saying this to you? Excuse my earlier words. So, Ernesto told me Bennett's gone. What happened? He seemed fine the last time we met. Good judgment there. The rumours are nonsense. Fencing stolen goods, please. Bennett used to handle our shipments for the vault, but everything was above board. Nothing shady, okay? He knew his stuff. Never took advantage of us, never budged on prices either. For him, it was always business first, friendship second. When he was running late, he'd stay up at that hill sometimes. We even set up a shelter there after it happened a few times. That's all. Come to think of it, he did stay there for a while the last time we saw him. Asked us to stash something too. What was it he said? I hope we don't need to use it.
Seems Bennett may have anticipated the trouble ahead. I wonder if you might show us to the shelter. We'd be most grateful.
There's an entrance along the coast. Go straight down the road and you'll see it. What's your business there anyway?
Watch out. Lots of fun! Vitality sour! You can tell someone was here. Look at the mess. Perhaps Bennett deliberately arranged it this way as a cover. We'll each use our senses to search. Then let's gather and analyze the clues we find. Something is...
These items aren't exactly rare, but they're not everyday objects either. They seem out of place here. Looks like Bennett left them deliberately.
Indeed. But what I find strange is... these items. Don't they seem familiar? Do you recall those 3 lines from the anthology? The ones Bennett sent to me in the photo? Thy eyes guide my course in the tempest. The woman in the paint, like the secret code in drinks. What matters is never the object themselves, but the shared rules and agreements between both parties. Now the book. It appears to be about winter, which is likely related to the second line, 40 winters. The last one is a rotor device. MLCL 190468. That format. It's a vault storage code. Of course it is. Bennett was a vault keeper. But what was he trying to convey in such a cryptic manner? 4 letters. The highest clearance level in the vault. Could it be? Hold on.
Carlotta? Yeah. You asked me to keep an eye out for Bennett's terminal. Well, I found it. Yeah, that's for me to know and you to wonder. But it was not in good shape after what it went through. Yeah, if you can use it at all, the data and the records inside might need to be recovered.
Understood. I'll have someone pick it up for restoration.
Wait, what now? What, you're not even gonna check? Oh no, it's nothing really. Just worried it might be too tricky to repair.
All right. We'll inform you when there's more to share. We're returning to the Montelli quarter first. The terminal will be fixed there. As for the codes, we'll figure it out once we arrive. You might not know this, but Bennett was never granted the highest clearance in the vault.
Isn't that a good sign? It means Bennett might not be guilty after all, just as you suspected.
But it's replaced by another suspicion. One I am reluctant to entertain, but I'm forced to consider. Only grandfather, uncle, and I have the highest clearance. Liberty Square, our proximity, the vault's security clearance, a traitor among the top brass, the indifference towards the stolen goods, and the authority to end dealings with Scarlet Velvet. There's someone all evidence points to. Were I to entertain it, but if it was truly him, the heir to our family, who betrayed us, wouldn't that be utterly absurd? Now all that remains is to see what the code reveals. It might clear our doubts, or confirm it.
I'll be with you, no matter what. So let's see where this leads.
My people just reported some initial progress on the terminal repair. Let's go. Our meet-up spot is right ahead.
Lady Carlotta, we received a terminal addressed to you, signed DC. The initial restoration is almost complete, but some data is overwritten or isolated due to the extensive damage. We were only able to recover certain sections. Our evaluation suggests that a full restoration might not be worth it. But, if you insist, Mr. Pierre at headquarters is an expert in this field.
Good. Make sure to contact him. Now please project the restored sections.
Absolutely. One moment.
Yes, that's where I was investigating that night. Seems like the intel was right. Bennett did go there. And the other location, I think it's my uncle's private dock. Primarily used for storage, not shipments. Reviewing the records hardly proves the connection between these locations. If time permits, we should take the terminal to Mr. Pierre. He's an old friend of Grandfather's and is an expert in this field. There may be other useful information in the terminal. But first, let's put that code to use. It could help us narrow down the range and provide better clues. Follow me. This is why I suggested we return here. Our vault holds everything. Family property, valuable items for trade, and prized possessions entrusted to us by clients. The complete inventory and access records can only be found here, accessible to those with the proper clearance. Please, follow me. Someone extracted the core data module. It's empty now. This must be what Bennett was trying to tell us before he died. Someone with access to the vault has broken their oath and leaked the data module. Now only Uncle, Grandfather, and I have the clearance to retrieve it. In Renisita, the Order maintains control over terminals, unlike other countries where they're freely traded. My grandfather learned to modify them during his early ventures in the new Federation. Our lantern-type terminal is a modified model. It may look purely ornamental, but it houses the tech modules we've developed. As Scarlet Velvet said, aside from our art dealings, we've been supplying these terminals to resonators at fair prices as part of our discreet business. By doing so, we've broken the Order's monopoly. We've given more people the means to protect themselves in their ventures, giving them choices they didn't have before. The Order is aware of our discreet business, but they turn a blind eye as long as we don't openly challenge their authority. The hefty taxes we pay maintain this delicate understanding. As a result, no family member would ever divulge our terminal secrets, much less allow the modules to fall into the wrong hands. What exactly are you planning, Uncle? No. We must find the core module.
Carlotta, where are you?
Uncle, may I ask you something first? Before the carnival, the priest showed me your pendant. How did he come by it? And what led to your capture?
Does it matter? All you need to know is that it's handled, and I'm in the clear now.
Were you mistreated? Did they coerce you into doing something against your will?
Heed my words. Whatever you've uncovered, put it behind you and all will be as it was. No grudges, no consequences, only family.
Now, we've had some trouble with the shipment over at Septimont. As the rightful heir, I'm giving you a new order. Take care of it. And I'll pretend none of this ever happened.
I refuse.
Excuse me?
I said I refuse. I can't act as if nothing happened. I won't let a family member die unjustly, or see our modules fall into the wrong hands.
Don't trouble yourself with the modules. Yes, our family's ambition has led us far, but it's exacted a price paid in blood and tears. What harm is there in choosing the safer, easier path?
I can't believe you just said that. So, you're refusing to tell the truth and reveal the module's location, is that it?
Why do you insist on tearing everything apart? Have you ever thought about what Padrino would say? What others would think of us? I've given you an out. All you need to do is accept it.
Then so be it. Your course is set, as is mine. But mark my words, I will stop you, Mr. Capello. I'm sorry you have to see this side of our family. Really? I just wished... No. I did promise I'd try to drop the pretense with you. I may need more time to come to terms with all of this. I don't regret uncovering the truth and exposing the traitor. I'm just saddened that my uncle is the one behind it all. We were meant to be the guardians of our family's ideals, to carry the torch forward. And yet now... Well, wallowing in emotion won't solve anything. Our priority now is to recover the data module. Every moment it's missing puts our family at greater risk. The core module is difficult to carry around. They must have hidden it. The dock Bennett visited used for storage. Could it be there? We need to adjust our strategy. My conversation with Capello will have alerted him. He's likely to move the module sooner than expected. I need to inspect the dock for any clues. Indeed, but time is not on our side. If Capello acts on this, I might lose my window to secure the module. Our sole advantage now is that we're operating as a pair. I need you to take this terminal to Pierre at the bank. If the dock turns out to be a dead end, we will need other leads. I know that securing the module alone won't suffice. I must uncover Capello's true motives. How it will affect our family. I'll figure it out. I promise. They call it a dock, but no ships ever come. Uncle has concealed what he took from the vault here. nothing so far. Was I wrong? Maybe this place doesn't hold what we're looking for. Why did Bennett come here then? Or am I too late? Did Capello get here first? And the energy fluctuation. It was going off and on. No, I couldn't have been imagining it. Such a big mirror. Why is it here? Doesn't seem to be made of common glass, but some kind of crystallized energy. Ah. Will I find the data module on the other side? Or was all this just a trap?
Hello again. You don't seem very surprised.
Carlotta told me Mr. Pierre always follows her grandfather. It also explains why you seemed familiar when we first met.
What's the term for it? A destined encounter? That's it. I doubt you want more chit-chat. I know you're here for that terminal. Let Pierre inspect it for you, and we can resume our conversation. Remember that painting we discussed earlier? In a fragile equilibrium, the smaller piece is forced to repress its true nature. It's confined to a seemingly flawless structure, stripped of its autonomy. I don't want the same fate for her. But I can't simply impose my path upon her, expecting blind obedience. She must find her own path, with a partner she can fully trust. As for those who betray their own blood, there will be no leniency. Even my own son is not exempt from this. However, before I intervene, I want to see her plan take shape. My hand should only be played as a final measure. The old give way to the new. It's the way of the world. But for us Montellis, the courage to break from the past matters far more than clinging to it. So I ask you this favor. When the time is right, give this to her. She'll need it.
It's a little tricky, but you're lucky to have my expertise. This terminal is defunct, but I've retrieved all its data, even the overwritten and isolated bits. The terminal has been tampered with. but nothing was intentionally erased. It seems they wanted to overwrite the data to avoid detection. I can show you. Do you have a terminal? I'll send over the data so you can see for yourself.
I assume you've taken care of Bennett's body.
We dumped him in the tacit discord zone overnight. We'll claim he was killed by those monsters tomorrow morning. Sir, are you sure? Are we really going to work with the Order after they made you kill one of our own?
We're in too deep now. Handing over the data module to the Order will cement our position as an ally of the authorities. We'll replace the Physaelias. The other resonators in the city are irrelevant. And Bennett, I would have taken care of him regardless. He knew too much. He deserved it for pursuing the Scarlet Velvet matter. Anyone who gets in my way shall meet the same fate.
Yes, sir.
We all stood together on that stormy night. Each one of us losing someone dear. And we all share the desire for our family to find an easier path forward. The best way to avoid sacrifice isn't fighting, but aligning ourselves with superior powers and knowing when to yield. You may have left the family, and I should expect no more favors from you. But I ask this of you one last time. Please, put this terminal in Carlotta's hands.
What's in it? Carlotta? What will happen to her?
Nothing, save for the standard location tracking data every terminal holds. In 3 days, I'll be negotiating on behalf of the family with the Order. I just want to make sure Carlotta doesn't interfere in the meantime. She'll be given a chance to join our side. I promise. Think about Bennett. If you take care of this, I will overlook what he stole and let it be a thing of the past. I know you care more about your late friend than you're willing to admit.
Unbelievable. What is Capello even thinking? Killing one of our own? It's a complete betrayal of our family. I must record all this madness with something. My terminal? No, it's too risky. Wait, I have Bennett's body. Nobody's going to pay attention to a dead man's terminal. I'll record it, then overwrite with new data. I have to keep this record well, in case I also...
A trap? Wait, sir. Wouldn't Lady Carlotta be in danger? I don't think that's part of your plan. Are you really letting her face this by herself?
She's already there, so why bother? I trust Carlotta and our esteemed guest. It is a trap, but also an opportunity for her to mature.
What is that?
The family will shield you.
These flashbacks. Could it be from touching that mirror? Energy crystals made into a mirror with pre-made Sonorio inside. A sly trap. This Sonorio, the docks, Bennett's terminal, Duncan. When did it all begin? The hand that pulled me in. I need to get to the bottom of this, and quickly.